I had been working the night shift at Helios Station for 3 years when I first noticed her. Helios wasn't a place people went to notice anything. It was a listening post at the edge of regulated space, a steel halo orbiting a dying blue star. My job was simple: monitor anomalous signals, log radiation spikes, and drink enough recycled coffee to forget how far I was from Earth. She arrived without announcement. One moment, the corridor outside the observation deck was empty. The next, my console flickered, lights dimmed, and a woman stood behind the glass as if she had always belonged there. She wore no suit, no visible tech, just a pale, flowing garment that shimmered like liquid moonlight. Her skin carried a faint iridescence, and her hair, long, silver-black, moving as if underwater, seemed to bend the light around it. Security alarms stayed silent. I should have run. Instead, I opened the deck door. She turned when she heard it, her eyes locking onto mine. They weren't human, too deep, too reflective, but they held something achingly familiar. Fear restrained by discipline. "Please," she said, her voice resonating directly inside my head. "I need help." That was how it began. Her name was Alira, though names, she explained, were approximations. She was not an invader or a conqueror. She was a courier, one of her people tasked with transporting biological memory across star systems. Living archives. Minds encoded into flesh. Her species had learned long ago that data survived longer when it could feel. But something had gone wrong. She had been pursued by an interstellar authority known as the Concord. According to them, her kind violated every known treaty by existing. Living data could not be regulated, taxed, or erased. They were dangerous. Helios Station, forgotten and underfunded, was the perfect place to hide. I listened, half-convinced exhaustion had finally cracked my sanity. Still, I offered her water. She smiled faintly, as if humoring a child, and said she didn't need it. What she needed was time. For 3 days, I hid her. I rerouted sensors, falsified logs, and locked down the deck under the pretense of radiation leaks. During that time, she told me stories, not in words, but in sensations. When she touched my wrist, I felt the collapse of an ocean world. When she laughed, I saw a civilization bloom inside a gas giant's rings. Her people didn't just remember history, they carried it. On the 4th night, the Concord arrived. Their ships didn't announce themselves. Helios shook as gravity wells distorted the station's orbit. My console screamed warnings and automated defenses powered up, pathetic against what was coming. "They'll take me," Alira said calmly. "And when they do, they'll extract what I carry. Not just information. Identity. Billions of lives will be reduced to patterns." "There has to be another way," I said. My hands were shaking. She looked at me then, really looked, and for the first time, she seemed uncertain.
"There is one," she said.
"But it's irreversible." Before I could ask what she meant, the station lights went out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing the room in red. Outside, Concord boarding craft latched onto the hull. Alira stepped closer. Her hair drifted around her shoulders, alive with faint pulses of light. "My people evolved a failsafe," she said. "A transfer protocol. We can seed what we carry into another neural structure, one not recognized by the Concord." I understood before she finished. "You mean me?" "Yes." I should have refused. I was human, fragile, limited, terrified. Carrying the memories of entire civilizations would destroy me. But as boots pounded on the outer hull and the air filled with distant impacts, I realized something. If I did nothing, everything she carried would be lost. "What do I do?" I asked. She raised a hand toward my face, hesitating for a fraction of a second. "I need to establish resonance. Physical contact helps." That was when I touched her hair. The moment my fingers brushed those shimmering strands, the universe exploded. I felt stars being born and extinguished. I felt languages rise and decay, lovers meeting under alien skies, wars fought over principles I couldn't name. My mind screamed as it tried to process centuries in seconds. I collapsed, but she held me upright, pressing her forehead to mine. "I'm sorry," she whispered, and then she was gone. Not vanished, dispersed. The Concorde burst into the deck moments later. Armored figures surrounded me, weapons raised. They scanned the room, confused. "There was another life form here," one of them said. I laughed. I couldn't help it. "There's only me," I replied. They searched the station for hours. They found nothing. No alien signatures. No illegal data constructs. Eventually, they left, convinced the anomaly had been a false reading. Helios Station returned to silence. But I was no longer alone. At first, the memories came as dreams. Faces I didn't recognize, planets I'd never seen. Over time, I learned to focus, to listen. Aelira hadn't simply transferred data, she had woven her consciousness into mine, fragmenting herself so I could survive. She spoke to me sometimes, softly, guiding me through the flood. Months passed. I resigned from Helios under the guise of medical leave. On Earth, I disappeared into the noise of billions of minds, knowing the Concorde would never look for something so ordinary. Now I travel, not in ships, but in stories. I write, I speak, I teach. I seed fragments of what I carry into art, into science, into dreams. No single piece is dangerous. Together, they are unstoppable. Sometimes, late at night, I feel her presence more strongly. A warmth at the back of my thoughts. Gratitude.
Love.
I touched her hair, and that night changed everything. Because the Concorde was right about one thing. Living memory is dangerous. And now, it lives in me, and through me, it's spreading. Months turned into years, and the memories Aelira had entrusted to me settled into my mind like a river carving its path through stone. I could access them without pain now, feeling her presence as a quiet guidance rather than a flood. The Concorde never found her, never found me. What they hunted had become something else entirely, spread, hidden, alive in subtle ways across countless worlds. Through me, Aelira's knowledge, her experiences, and even fragments of her essence were shaping the future. Sometimes, when the night was still, I felt her near, whispering not as a separate being, but as part of myself.
"You did it," she said.
"You carried us forward." I touched her hair that night, and everything changed, not just my life, but the course of countless lives beyond my own. I had become the vessel of a new beginning, a living bridge between what was lost and what could be saved. And in that, I realized, some moments are never just one night, they are the start of everything.